Think back to a time when you were standing at a crossroads, faced with a decision that seemed impossible to make. We have all been there, haven't we? Those moments when the weight of choice feels almost unbearable. When the fear of making the wrong move paralyzes us. It's in these moments that we are most vulnerable to the deadliest mistakes of life. But what if I told you that these moments of uncertainty, these crossroads, are actually your greatest opportunities for growth? What if the very mistakes we fear could become our most powerful teachers? The first deadly mistake we need to address is living in fear. Fear is a thief. It steals your dreams, robs you of your potential, and leaves you standing on the sidelines of your own life. How many times have you let fear hold you back? How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you were afraid to reach out and grab them? Fear whispers lies into our ears. It tells us we are not good enough, not smart enough, not brave enough to pursue our dreams. But here's the truth: fear is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. It's a mirage, a trick of the mind that keeps us trapped in our comfort zones. To overcome this deadly mistake, we must learn to dance with fear. Acknowledge its presence, but don't let it lead. Instead, let your dreams, your ambitions, your desire for growth be the driving force in your life. When fear tells you to stay small, choose to expand. When fear tells you to stay silent, choose to speak up. When fear tells you to give up, choose to persevere. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else is more important than fear. So what's more important to you than your fears? What dream, what goal, what vision for your life is worth facing your fears for? The second deadly mistake is waiting for permission. Too often we put our lives on hold, waiting for someone else to give us the green light. We wait for our parents' approval, our boss's promotion, society's acceptance before we dare to pursue our true passions. No one is coming to give you permission to live your best life. No one is going to hand you an engraved invitation to follow your dreams. The permission you are waiting for, it has to come from within. You have the power right now to grant yourself permission. Permission to try, to fail, to succeed, to be different, to stand out, to make noise, to make a difference. Don't wait for the world to recognize your worth. Recognize it yourself and act accordingly. This does not mean being reckless or ignoring wise counsel. It means taking ownership of your life, your choices, your future. It means understanding that while others can offer advice and support, ultimately the decision to act is yours alone. What have you been waiting for permission to do? What dream have you put on hold, waiting for the right time or the right person to give you the go-ahead? Today is the day to give yourself that permission. Today is the day to take that first step, no matter how small, towards the life you truly want. The third deadly mistake is neglecting your unique gifts. Each of us has been blessed with a unique combination of talents, skills, and perspectives. These gifts are not just for our own benefit, they are meant to be shared with the world. But too often we downplay our abilities, we hide our light, we try to fit into a mold that was never meant for us. How much of your true self have you been holding back? How often have you dimmed your light to make others comfortable? How many times have you said, I can't, when you really meant, I'm afraid to try? Your gifts, your talents, your unique perspective, these are not accidents. They are not random. They are part of your purpose, your calling. When you neglect these gifts, you are not just doing yourself a disservice, you are depriving the world of something only you can offer. So I urge you to take inventory of your gifts. What comes naturally to you? What do you do that brings you joy and seems to help others? These are clues to your purpose, signposts pointing towards your true path in life. And once you have identified these gifts, it's time to nurture them. Invest in yourself. Learn, grow, practice. Don't compare your gifts to others. Your journey is unique. Instead, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, on fully expressing your unique gifts in the world. The fourth deadly mistake is allowing others to define your worth. In a world obsessed with likes, followers, and external validation, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring our worth by other people's standards. We let our boss's opinion determine our value in the workplace. We let social media likes define our self-esteem. We let society's expectations dictate our life choices. Your worth is not determined by others. It's not found in a paycheck, a social media feed, or someone else's opinion. Your worth is inherent. It's part of who you are, not what you do or what others think of you. When you allow others to define your worth, you give away your power. You become a puppet, dancing to someone else's tune instead of creating your own music. You spend your life trying to please others instead of being true to yourself. To avoid this mistake, you must become the author of your own story. Define success on your own terms. Set your own standards. Live according to your values, not someone else's expectations. This does not mean ignoring feedback or living in isolation. It means filtering external input through the lens of your own wisdom and values. Start by asking yourself, what does success look like to me? What are my values? What kind of person do I want to be? Regardless of what others think, when you have clear answers to these questions, you have a compass to guide you through life's choices. The fifth deadly mistake is settling for mediocrity. In a world that often celebrates the bare minimum, it's easy to fall into the trap of doing just enough to get by. We settle for jobs that don't challenge us, relationships that don't fulfill us, lives that don't inspire us. But you were not created for mediocrity. You were created for excellence, for greatness, for a life that pushes the boundaries of what's possible. Settling for less than your best is a form of self-betrayal. It's denying the world the full expression of your potential. Think about the areas of your life where you have been settling. Maybe it's in your career where you have stopped pushing for growth and advancement. Maybe it's in your relationships where you have accepted less than you deserve. Maybe it's in your personal growth where you have stopped learning and challenging yourself. Excellence is not about perfection. It's about consistent growth and improvement. It's about waking up each day with the intention to be better than you were yesterday. It's about refusing to let comfort be the enemy of progress. So I challenge you, where in your life can you raise your standards? Where can you push for excellence instead of settling for mediocrity? Remember, the gap between where you are and where you want to be is filled with discomfort, hard work, and growth. Embrace that journey. The sixth deadly mistake is living without purpose. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. We get caught up in the rat race, chasing after goals that don't truly matter to us, living lives that lack deeper meaning. But a life without purpose is like a ship without a destination. You might be moving, but you are not really going anywhere. Purpose gives direction to your efforts, meaning to your struggles, and fulfillment to your achievements. Finding your purpose is not always easy. It's not about having a grand, world-changing mission, although it could be. It's about understanding why you are here, what you want to contribute to the world, and how you want to be remembered. Start by asking yourself some deep questions. What makes you come alive? What are you passionate about? What problems in the world bother you the most? What would you do if money wasn't a concern? The answers to these questions can point you towards your purpose. Remember, your purpose can evolve over time. It's not about finding one fixed, unchanging mission for your entire life. It's about living with intention, about making choices that align with your values and contribute to something greater than yourself. The seventh deadly mistake is neglecting your health. In our drive for success, it's all too easy to sacrifice our physical and mental well-being. We push ourselves to the limit, burning the candle at both ends, ignoring the warning signs our bodies and minds send us. Your health is your true wealth. Without it, all other forms of success become meaningless. You can't enjoy the fruits of your labor if you have destroyed your body in the process. You can't make a positive impact on the world if you are constantly running on empty. Taking care of your health is not selfish, it's necessary. It's about respecting the vehicle that carries you through life. It's about maintaining the energy and vitality you need to pursue your purpose and live your best life. This means prioritizing sleep even when there's more work to be done. It means fueling your body with nutritious food, not just whatever is quick and convenient. It means moving your body regularly, finding forms of exercise that you enjoy. It means taking time for rest and relaxation, understanding that downtime is not wasted time. It's essential for recharging and rejuvenating. And let's not forget mental health. In a world that's constantly demanding our attention, taking care of our minds is more important than ever. This might mean practicing mindfulness or meditation, seeking therapy when needed, or simply setting boundaries to protect your mental space. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of your health is not just about avoiding illness, it's about creating a foundation of well-being that allows you to show up fully in all areas of your life. The eighth deadly mistake is refusing to adapt. In a world that's changing at an unprecedented pace, clinging to old ways of thinking and doing can be a recipe for disaster. The skills that got you where you are today may not be the skills you need to succeed tomorrow. Adaptability is not just about survival, it's about thriving in the face of change. It's about seeing change not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth and innovation. It's about being willing to let go of what's familiar and comfortable in order to embrace new possibilities. This does not mean chasing after every new trend or abandoning your core values. It means being open to new ideas, being willing to learn and unlearn, and being flexible in your approach to challenges. Start by cultivating a growth mindset. Believe that you can learn and grow no matter your age or circumstances. Embrace challenges as opportunities to develop new skills. Seek out diverse perspectives and experiences that challenge your assumptions. Remember, the most successful people and organizations are not necessarily the strongest or the most intelligent, but those most responsive to change. So ask yourself, where in your life do you need to be more adaptable? What old habits or ways of thinking are holding you back from embracing new opportunities? The ninth deadly mistake is neglecting relationships. In our individualistic society, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we can go it alone. We focus on personal achievement at the expense of meaningful connections. We prioritize work over family and friends. We let important relationships wither from neglect. But the truth is, we are hardwired for connection. Our relationships are not just nice to have, they are essential for our well-being and success. The quality of our relationships often determines the quality of our lives. This does not mean you need to be a social butterfly or have a huge network. It's about nurturing deep, meaningful connections. It's about being present with the people in your life, truly listening to them, supporting them, and allowing yourself to be supported in return. Invest time and energy in your relationships. Make time for the people who matter most to you, even when you are busy. Practice empathy and active listening. Be willing to be vulnerable and authentic in your connections. And don't forget about your relationship with yourself. Self-love and self-compassion are the foundation for all other relationships. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a good friend. The 10th deadly mistake is living in the past or the future instead of the present. How much of your mental energy is spent reliving past regrets or anxiously anticipating future uncertainties? While it's important to learn from the past and plan for the future, true life happens in the present moment. Living in the past keeps you stuck in regret, shame, or nostalgia. Living in the future keeps you trapped in anxiety or unrealistic expectations. Both rob you of the power you have right now in this moment to create change and experience life fully. Practicing mindfulness can help you stay grounded in the present. This does not mean you have to meditate for hours, although that can be helpful. It's about bringing your full attention to whatever you are doing right now, whether it's eating a meal, having a conversation, or working on a project. When you catch yourself dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, gently bring your attention back to the present. What can you see, hear, feel right now? What action can you take in this moment to move towards your goals or improve your situation? Remember, the present moment is the only time you have any power. The past is gone and the future is not here yet. But right now, in this moment, you have the power to make choices, to take action, to create change. The 11th deadly mistake is not taking risks. It's natural to seek safety and security. Our brains are wired to avoid danger, but if you never take risks, you will never grow. You will never discover what you are truly capable of. This does not mean being reckless or impulsive. It means calculated risk, stepping out of your comfort zone, trying new things, putting yourself in situations where you might fail, but you will definitely learn. Every great achievement in history, every innovation, every breakthrough came because someone was willing to take a risk. They were willing to fail, to look foolish, to go against the grain. What risks have you been avoiding? What opportunities have you let slip by because you were afraid to take a chance? Remember, at the end of your life, you are more likely to regret the risks you didn't take than the ones you did. Start small. Take one small risk each day. It might be speaking up in a meeting, trying a new hobby, or reaching out to someone you admire. As you build your risk-taking muscle, you will find yourself becoming more confident, more resilient, and more alive. The 12th deadly mistake is not learning from failure. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. Every successful person has failed, probably more times than you can imagine. The difference is they didn't let failure stop them. They learned from it, they grew from it, they used it as fuel to push them forward. But too often, we let failure define us. We see it as evidence of our inadequacy rather than as feedback to help us improve. We let one setback convince us to give up on our dreams. To avoid this mistake, you need to reframe your relationship with failure. See it as a teacher, not an enemy. When you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow stronger, smarter, better? Develop a growth mindset. Believe that your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. See challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, not as threats to your self-image. And remember, failure is not personal. It's not a reflection of your worth as a person. It's simply feedback that your current approach is not working and it's time to try something different. The 13th deadly mistake is not taking responsibility for your life. It's easy to blame others for our circumstances, our parents, our boss, the economy, society. But as long as you are blaming external factors for your situation, you are giving away your power to change it. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything that happens to you. It means acknowledging that while you can't control everything that happens, you can always control your response. It means recognizing that you are the author of your life story. This shift in mindset is incredibly empowering. When you take responsibility, you take back control. You move from being a victim of circumstances to being the creator of your life. Start by paying attention to your language. How often do you use phrases like I have to, I can't, or they made me? Replace these with empowering alternatives like I choose to, I will, or I'm responsible for. Remember, taking responsibility is not about beating yourself up over past mistakes. It's about empowering yourself to create positive change moving forward. The 14th deadly mistake is not cultivating resilience. Life will knock you down, that's a guarantee. The question is, will you stay down or will you get back up? Resilience is what determines whether obstacles defeat you or develop you. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, it's about learning how to bounce back from them. It's about developing the mental and emotional strength to face challenges head on, to learn from failures, to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. To build resilience, start by reframing challenges. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable obstacles, see them as opportunities for growth. Develop a support network of people who believe in you and can offer encouragement during tough times. Practice self-care and stress management techniques. This might include exercise, meditation, journaling, or whatever helps you recharge and regain perspective. Remember, self-care is not selfish. It's necessary for maintaining your resilience in the face of life's challenges. It's about filling your own cup so you have the strength and energy to face whatever comes your way. The 15th deadly mistake is not practicing forgiveness. Holding on to grudges, resentment, and past hurts is like carrying a heavy weight that slows you down on your journey through life. It's natural to feel anger or pain when someone wrongs you, but when you hold on to these negative emotions, you are the one who suffers most. Forgiveness does not mean condoning what happened or forgetting about it. It's not about reconciliation or letting someone off the hook. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. It's about reclaiming the energy you have been pouring into past hurts and redirecting it towards your future. Learning to forgive takes practice and patience. Start with small offenses and work your way up to bigger ones. Remember to extend this forgiveness to yourself as well. We often hold ourselves to impossibly high standards and beat ourselves up over past mistakes. But self-forgiveness is just as important as forgiving others. The 16th deadly mistake is not setting boundaries. In our desire to please others or avoid conflict, we often let people cross our personal boundaries. We say yes when we want to say no. We take on more than we can handle. We let others treat us in ways that diminish our self-worth. But boundaries are not selfish. They are necessary for healthy relationships and personal well-being. They define where you end and others begin. They protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. They allow you to show up fully in your life and relationships because you are not constantly overextended or resentful. Setting boundaries starts with self-awareness. What are your limits? What behaviors from others are not okay with you? Once you are clear on your boundaries, communicate them clearly and consistently. Remember, you don't need to justify your boundaries to others. No is a complete sentence. The 17th deadly mistake is neglecting your spiritual growth. Regardless of your religious beliefs or lack thereof, spiritual growth is about connecting with something larger than yourself. It's about finding meaning and purpose in life, developing your inner wisdom, and cultivating a sense of peace and contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. Neglecting your spiritual side can leave you feeling empty and unfulfilled, even if you are successful in other areas of life. It can leave you vulnerable to stress and anxiety without a solid foundation to weather life's storms. Spiritual growth does not necessarily mean adhering to a particular religion. It could involve meditation, spending time in nature, practicing gratitude, or engaging in philosophical discussions. The key is to regularly engage in activities that nourish your soul and help you connect with your deeper self and the world around you. The 18th deadly mistake is not developing emotional intelligence. In our society, we often prioritize intellectual intelligence over emotional intelligence. But the ability to understand and manage your emotions and to empathize with others is crucial for success in all areas of life. Low emotional intelligence can lead to conflicts in relationships, difficulties in the workplace, and challenges in managing stress and making decisions. On the other hand, high emotional intelligence can lead to better relationships, improved mental health, and greater success in your personal and professional life. Developing emotional intelligence involves practicing self-awareness, learning to manage your emotions, developing empathy for others, and improving your social skills. It's about recognizing that emotions are not something to be suppressed or ignored, but valuable sources of information that can guide your decisions and actions. The 19th deadly mistake is not cultivating curiosity. In a world that's constantly changing, curiosity is a superpower. It drives learning, fuels innovation, and keeps life interesting. But as we grow older, many of us lose the natural curiosity we had as children. We become set in our ways, resistant to new ideas, and closed off to different perspectives. Not cultivating curiosity can lead to stagnation in your personal and professional life. It can make you less adaptable to change and less open to opportunities. It can make life feel dull and uninspiring. To cultivate curiosity, make a habit of asking questions. Challenge your assumptions. Explore topics outside your usual interests. Try new experiences. Approach life with a beginner's mind, always open to learning something new. The 20th deadly mistake is not practicing gratitude. In our constant pursuit of more success, more money, more recognition, it's easy to lose sight of what we already have. We focus on what's missing rather than appreciating what's present. This constant focus on what we lack can lead to chronic dissatisfaction and unhappiness. It can blind us to the beauty and abundance that already exists in our lives. It can keep us stuck in a cycle of always wanting more, never feeling like we have enough. Practicing gratitude does not mean ignoring problems or challenges in your life. It's about shifting your focus to also include the good things, no matter how small. It's about recognizing that even in difficult times, there are things to be thankful for. Start a gratitude practice. Each day, take a moment to acknowledge 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be big things. It could be a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. Over time, this practice can shift your entire perspective on life. The 21st deadly mistake is not embracing vulnerability. In a world that often equates vulnerability with weakness, many of us build walls to protect ourselves from hurt, rejection, or failure. We put on masks, pretending to be someone we are not. We avoid taking risks or putting ourselves out there for fear of getting hurt. But vulnerability is not weakness, it's courage. It's the willingness to show up and be seen, even when there are no guarantees. It's the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. It's essential for deep, meaningful connections with others. Not embracing vulnerability can lead to shallow relationships, missed opportunities, and a life lived at arm's length. It can keep you from fully experiencing love, joy, and belonging. It can prevent you from reaching your full potential. Learning to embrace vulnerability takes practice and courage. Start small. Share your real thoughts and feelings with someone you trust. Take a risk in pursuing a goal that's important to you. Allow yourself to be fully seen, knowing that yes, you might get hurt, but you also open yourself up to experiences of profound connection and growth. The 22nd deadly mistake is not developing a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that our abilities and intelligence are static, that we are born with a certain amount, and that's that. A growth mindset, on the other hand, believes that our abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Not developing a growth mindset can severely limit your potential. It can make you avoid challenges for fear of failure. It can make you give up easily when things get tough. It can make you see effort as fruitless rather than the path to mastery. Cultivating a growth mindset involves embracing challenges, persisting in the face of setbacks, seeing effort as the path to mastery, learning from criticism, and finding lessons and inspiration in the success of others. It's about believing in your ability to learn and grow, no matter your age or circumstances. The 23rd deadly mistake is not practicing self-reflection. In the busyness of daily life, it's easy to keep moving without ever pausing to consider where we are going. We can get so caught up in doing that we forget about being. We make choices on autopilot. without considering whether they are truly aligned with our values and goals. Not practicing self-reflection can lead to a life lived unconsciously. It can cause you to wake up one day and realize you have been living someone else's version of success, or that you have drifted far from the person you want to be. Self-reflection is about taking the time to check in with yourself. It's about examining your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It's about asking yourself the hard questions. Am I living in alignment with my values? Am I moving closer to my goals? What can I learn from my experiences? Make self-reflection a regular practice. It could be through journaling, meditation, or simply quiet contemplation. Use this time to reconnect with your inner self, to clarify your values and goals, and to ensure that your daily actions are aligned with your bigger picture. As we near the end of our exploration of life's deadliest mistakes, remember this awareness is the first step towards change. By recognizing these potential pitfalls, you have already taken a significant step towards avoiding them. But awareness alone is not enough. Knowledge without action is like having a map but never taking the journey. The real work begins now in the choices you make each day, in the habits you cultivate, in the mindset you develop. Life is not about avoiding mistakes. It's about learning from them, growing through them, and using them as stepping stones towards the life you truly want. It's about having the courage to face your fears, to be vulnerable, to take risks. It's about being willing to fail, to get back up, to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. You have within you everything you need to create an extraordinary life. You have the power to choose, to change, to grow. You have the ability to turn these potential pitfalls into powerful lessons that propel you forward. Choose one area where you have been making one of these deadly mistakes. Commit to making a change, no matter how small. Remember, transformation does not happen overnight. It happens one choice, one action, one moment at a time. Your life is a precious gift filled with unlimited potential. Don't let these deadly mistakes rob you of the amazing future that's waiting for you. Embrace the journey of growth and self-discovery. Learn from your mistakes, celebrate your successes, and never stop striving to become the best version of yourself. The path ahead may not always be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. Because on the other side of these challenges, these mistakes, these moments of growth, that's where you will find the life you have always dreamed of. That's where you will discover the amazing person you were always meant to be. So go forth with courage, with determination, with hope. Your best life is waiting for you. It's time to claim it.